Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We are a vibrant, inclusive, and spiritual community that seeks to live intentionally, love unconditionally, and see God in all people and in all faiths. We believe the work we do in prayer and in the community creates a world that works for all cultures, races, orientations, and faiths. For over 60 years, we have practiced thinking globally and acting locally to help awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Annually, hundreds of people actively participate in our services, classes, events, and in our Spanish-speaking ministry. And we are training the next generation of spiritual leadership in our ministerial school. In the last few years, because of apparent divisions politically and socially, and because of threats to basic human rights, we have magnified our application of Science of Mind principles with engagement and compassionate action in the greater Napa Valley community. Our members have participated in women's marches, pride events, and we have hosted speakers on racial issues. We have empowered and mentored diverse leaders in our community and given scholarships to diverse ministerial students. We have donated over 4,000 pounds of food to our local food bank. Our spiritual director, Reverend Jay Lang, has facilitated an interfaith leadership group to hold public prayer vigils and 9/11 commemorations in participation with Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We have fostered the creation of a beloved community in the larger Napa Valley area by honoring community heroes at events and tithing to and partnering with a dozen different nonprofits that share our vision. Together, we've created a Martin Luther King Day of Service where over 1,200 participated in community service annually. The leadership of our parent organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, headquartered in Golden, Colorado, recognized our community for all of the outstanding, compassionate work we've been doing over the last few years with the 2022 Meritorious Community Award. As we move forward to do this work of the heart, to awaken the world to its spiritual magnificence, will you join us as we continue to ascend to new heights and create a world that works for everyone?
Good morning, everyone. So good to see everybody on this beautiful day. I guess enjoy the sun because rain comes tomorrow, but we need both, so we love that. We welcome all of you today. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. I'm the spiritual director here, and so happy to be part of this community, this vibrant community. So welcome. This happens to be your first time or first time in a while. Thanks for being here. We'd like to open with some music, and Julianne Poirier is here to join it, to bring wonderful music.
My life
all that I see and all that I hear and all that I feel is God. All that I am, all that I do, all that I am.
echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? And though the darkness round me falls, I know the truth it liveth. And though the tempest round me roars, songs in the night it giveth, no storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing?
Thank you so much, Julianne. So wonderful to have you here with us today. We like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look on the screen, welcome all those online. You have a screen obviously right in front of you also. So join us in reading this together. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A glorious affirmation for us, some exciting things coming up in the weeks to come, and I'll say more about them as we talk about our announcements. But first of all, I just want to say that we're continuing our celebration of Latinx Heritage Month. I had to look up, I didn't know why, I thought it was odd that it started in the middle of the month. But I found out why it started in the middle of September is because that coincides with the anniversary of a lot of Independence Days for Mexico, a lot of Central American, even South American countries from Spain. And so it's a celebration of that through and moves through into October, which has traditional holidays like Dia de Muertos and other things that happen. So we're so glad to celebrate those days and also celebrate the contribution of Latinx to, in areas of science, technology, education, leadership in this country, and just in the cultural influence, and we so appreciate that and honor that. It's also interesting that today and tomorrow are Indigenous Peoples Day, and I think even 20 years ago, this weekend was called Columbus Day, and some people still honor that day. I think for most people of Italian heritage, it is a cultural day, and of course I honor that. My challenge with Columbus, celebrating Columbus, is that for many people, it was the start of cultural genocide, and actual genocide of Native Americans here, of the imperialism that started with the Spanish and Portuguese and English, and even Americans here as our United States continued to move west. So instead, I like to celebrate Indigenous Day and to honor Indigenous people from all around the world that have, if you want to call them the first people. And what I love is they're beginning to, in the last 2 decades, beginning to reclaim and rediscover their cultural wisdom that was there, their teachings that are there. They're reclaiming land, and they're sharing that with other people outside of their culture too, and I appreciate that so much. That I'm just grateful for these teachings that have had such a profound influence on spirituality here in the Americas. And that includes Australian and European and African and Asian indigenous cultures as well. As far as announcements, I wanted to begin today that today, right after the service at 12:30, there's a rally, the Napa Day Against Hate, that's over here in Veterans Park. Starts at 12:30. Get there when you can. Bring food. I understand there could be as many as 1,000 people there today. I don't know if there'll really be that many, but I'm thinking that we might have to do some breaking of the fish and loaves there to feed everybody. So please bring your own food. But it should be a great day. Mike Thompson is actually going to be speaking now. That's a new speaker. I'm speaking. Laura Keller-Coyote speaking. And we're just all talking about compassion and encouraging people to stay in that place of compassion and love, no matter what happens happening in the world. And also today is our Napa Green Bag program, which is to bring non-perishable food that we donate to the food bank. And we've been doing this now for 7 or 8 years. But what's interesting, something happened this month that was a little change, and I want to talk about that. We had a person a celebrity whose son lives here in Napa, and son stays at the house that's in Napa sometimes, and a neighbor of Susan Fransky's. And it was supposed to be an anonymous donation, but when this person heard of our Green Bag program, they donated almost $300 pay to buy food, and so we have an additional, I don't know how many pounds more food out there. But I want to let you know who that person was now, because they just passed this past week, and it's Diane Keaton, the actress Diane Keaton. And what I've heard about her through Susan, what she knows about her is this: she always was a very generous, giving person, giving to many different causes and many things involved with, because she believed that's the way that life was meaningful, not any accolades that she received by being an actress or anything else that she did. And so it was really great to have, I mean, it's sad that she died, I'm not saying that, but it's a fitting way that we can honor her, to take this food in her name and remember her as a generous, giving person. So that's great. Susan, thank you for facilitating all of that. So, yeah, and for those online, Susan just said it was an honor for her to be able to receive the gift and go shopping and know her son, and so we appreciate that. So other things that are going on next week, there's a financial freedom workshop that I am facilitating on Saturday morning. There's a lot of things going on the 18th, I know that. So right now the sign up is low, and that's okay. If we want to, if we need to postpone the workshop, we will. But if you're interested, make sure you sign up today so we know that there's enough people to have the workshop. Right now, there's not. I'll say that. So it'll be a great workshop, and if we need to postpone it, we'll do it in January. So, but it's about setting mindful financial practices and clear intentions. Yes, Sean. Right, but I can't announce that, because it's a political partisan activity. But I think most of us know that. Okay, Sean announced it for us. Great, thank you, Sean. These opinions don't reflect the Center for Spiritual Living necessarily, right? And then I want to jump ahead. There's other announcements. I want to jump ahead to make sure you know about November 8th. Right here in the sanctuary, we're going to have a wonderful dinner to thank you for your engagement in this community, everything you do, just showing up, volunteering, contributing in different ways. And also, a fun thing out, if you go out for fellowship today, we have our plaque done for all those people. Is it outside? Okay. So the plaque will be revealed at the dinner then. Is that what we're saying? Okay. So we're going to, for all those that contributed to the courtyard. So we appreciate that. And then in between then and now, there's also Julianne, if Julianne wants to get up and talk about that, is having a concert on that same day. You know,
date a year in advance, so I didn't know I was going to be competing with the No Kings rally. Not that we're allowed to talk about that.
You're allowed to talk about it. I'm just not.
But if you'd like to come to a lovely gathering of people in a beautiful place, you could talk to me afterwards, and I can give you more information.
Okay. Thanks, Julianne. And you do want reservations ahead of time, sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then Pro Inclusion Napa moved their meeting back a week because of so many things going on. So they're not meeting till I guess that's the third Tuesday or something, usually second Tuesday, but on the 21st at Napa Methodist Church. If you've never been to those, you're welcome to still attend those to be part of that. They're going to be down at the Napa Day Against Hate today, and they've been doing a lot of these artworks with children and adults making compassionate signs. So that's great. They're starting their yard sign campaign soon. And then Bodhi is having a sound journey on the 26th. You can sign up that either at the welcome table or online. That should be wonderful. I've always enjoyed his journeys. And then also a few months ago, we had Ann House did a workshop on soul collages. How many people went to that? I know I did. I got a lot out of it. So she's doing she said that was an introduction. This is a full one that's on November 8th from 9 to 1. It is a paid thing, but we are not registering people here yet I don't know if we're going to, but you can go through her site to do that. So Ann House there. We'll probably sign up. She's starting next week for that. And then, did I mention the appreciation dinner? I know I did. Let's just not forget that. So prayer is an essential part of our beliefs. And the practitioners and I, and as well as we're having a class right now with affirmative prayer, and it's just important to be able to practice that. So give us a chance to practice it by giving prayer requests. You can be here after this service. We'll have practitioners who are able to meet with you one-on-one prayers. There are prayers in the lobby that you can fill out, prayers online. We love praying. And we have received back many comments and thank yous for shifts that they've had in their life, they believe, because of our prayers. So thank you for being a part of that. So now we're going to begin the sacred part of our service.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you. I am a living sanctuary for you.
If the only prayer we ever uttered is thank you, that would be quite enough. It's from Meister Eckhart. Let's close our eyes and just breathe. Let that breath bring you home. Home to yourself, to this moment, to that quiet place, to that stillness that remembers. Gratitude lives there, along with prosperity, abundance, health, love. We need not go find it. It is something we already are. We are grateful for our gathering here today, for the comfort of this community, and for the peace that comes from just being together. We give thanks for the music, for the way it speaks when words fall short. We give thanks for the message, for it meets us right where we are. And today, here in the moment, we say yes to Spirit, yes to the great I am, yes to the presence. And that is gratitude. That is who you are. That is your soul. Grateful. Grateful for just being alive. We believe it, we see it, we let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Peggy. We every October we start our Card of Intention campaign, and the Board of Trustees invite you to be a part of that. And to tell you more about that, we have two of our Board of Trustees members, Kenna Burke and Kendall Bicknell. I had to find you. Come on up.
So Rev J, as he mentioned, had asked the Board of Trustees to come forth. My name is Kenna Burke.
Microphone.
I'm not really a trustee. I am a treasurer, but I act in that role. Kendall is a Board of Trustee. He's been on the board now for a year?
A little less.
A
but
little
yes.
less than a year.
Close
so
enough.
we looked her in. For those of you, how many of you have received your card of intention? Excellent, excellent, excellent. So that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. We'd like to take a moment to discuss what the contribution means, as well as your intention for the center in 2026. The Board of Trustees takes your card of intention very seriously, as it helps us determine our annual budget for 2026. Therefore, I'd like to share with you the center's budget this year and kind of how we have managed that budget and what we're looking at, to give you an idea of kind of how we take our responsibilities. I believe we have some slides, and they're quick and easy. So hopefully you won't be too bored with them. So Sean is doing an awesome job. I think we start at the beginning of our annual budget.
Which slide do you want? This slide? It's actually me.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
Yes.
Back them up, please, to the beginning. This is the last slide.
To the last slide?
There we go. There's annual budget right there. There we go.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. So our annual budget for 2025 is really Suzanne von Rosenberg, who is our president. She does a phenomenal job of managing, as long as also Joe Mohorovich. And so our projected income was approximately $18,500 a month this year. That includes rental, it includes a majority of our pledges and our contributions. So if we can go to the next slide. Oh, not that one. This one. Let's do income, yeah. And so what we were looking at was our budget, what we hoped, we projected to get, and this is actually what we have been receiving. Through August 31st is when we're able to do our books. And so you can see we're running about $500 a month behind. Not terrible. I mean, and probably in the next couple of months we'll catch up with that. So that's an excellent sign. If you go to the next slide, these are our expenses by category. So as you can see, our personnel expenses is the majority of what we spend. We are very grateful for Mary, for our musicians, falls into that, for Rev J. But we do have administrative costs as well, because we have lights for PG&E, we have air conditioning because we get grumpy if it's hot in here, and other expenses that come about with owning the property, like property taxes. So if we go to the next slide, I did bring up facility expenses because that's actually the thing that's costing us more money than what we had anticipated in our budget. PG&E, as you see the utilities over there, is running about $700 more than we had anticipated our budget, as well as our upkeep on the courtyard is a little bit more expensive than what we had anticipated. There's water bills that are associated with that. You can also see that our rental expenses, and Kendall's going to talk to you about the rental expenses next. If we keep going forward, so Rev J put this one in there, and it's, I understand it, but I don't know that I can explain it greatly. This one is our monthly donations by month. And we, in 2025, are the lovely purple one. So as you can see, kind of what we spoke about is that our contributions are about 68% of our budget. And so we've been going a little bit lower than our budget in regards to our contributions. If you see the spikes in April and May, those spikes are actually Sip and Savor. So that's when we have our big fundraising event, and that's when the income comes in at that point. So we wanted to just really bring to your attention that we are running about $1,500 behind each month. One, because income is, yes, because we've got about $500 less in income. And then our expenses are $900 more than we had anticipated. So that's why we're having that deficit. I don't think that this is horrible. I think that we overcome this. We do this every year. And we, as a board, are actually watching it closely and being fiduciarily responsible for you. And that's why we brought this up to you today. One of the things we would like to talk about is when you make when you fill out your card of intention, that helps us because what we're going to do is take these expenses that we've had, we're going to take what we anticipate our income to be next year, and then we will create what our budget will be. And those are the decisions that get made. That's how we stay solvent and we keep things moving forward. Kendall's going to talk to you about other revenue sources that we have. And the other thing I want you to know is that I'm available to answer questions if you have any after this. I think there's one more slide that we started out with that we kept going back to. Yes, why your pledge matters. So you'll see, we, as our contributions, are really basically at about 70% of what the budget is for the center. So we really appreciate your thoughtfulness in this. And I will turn it over.
Thank you. I am also not a public speaker. I am a registered nurse, and that's what I do best, but bear with me. So my name's Kendall. I came to the center about maybe 8 years ago and found a wonderful community here and feel like I have grown personally to be here. So I feel strongly about supporting the center and formally filled out a giving card, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, and so I encourage you all to do that. So last week, some of the members of the board, we had a question answer period out on the patio, and we had great questions. They were very appreciated. We had 3 sort of things that kind of floated to the surface that people seemed to be the most interested in. So one was budget. So Kenna has gone over that. The other is the rental. So we moved forward with the rental after some timely and much needed repairs, and we secured a wonderful tenant with a long-term lease, and we're very proud of that. I'm very pleased with her. Some of the repairs, like the rental needed all new flooring and just some general maintenance and upkeep. And the tenant herself added some updates to make her business successful, and she paid for those. The renter covers her own utility costs, her water and her PG&E. The monthly rent received does cover the center's mortgage, and the rental property management fee. And this is great, but there's going to be ongoing maintenance. It is not a new building. As you can see, it's a beautiful old house. And with that comes, repairs, expenses, maintenance. We have to cover these costs, but we do anticipate the rental to pay for itself in the future. And we are moving very much forward with that. So, and now moving on to the courtyard. Again, these are just very brief updates. Kenna and I are available afterwards if you have questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So we're lucky to have our beautiful courtyard, aren't we? I mean, it's just gorgeous. A lot of time and funds went towards making the courtyard a very peaceful, wonderful, positive place that we can gather. We celebrated a very successful Sip and Savor out there this year. It was a beautiful event, and everyone who came was, I heard a lot of very positive comments about the courtyard. Using the courtyard as a revenue source has been a learning process for us. Initially we thought we could just book a bunch of weddings out there and, the money would come rolling in. And we've come to learn that there's some hiccups with that. Jay Brooks has worked tirelessly to connect with booking agencies and has advertised extensively on all free platforms. And we've yet to book anything. We've kind of learned that we might not be the best venue for a formal weddings because we don't have a space to change. We don't have a kitchen that has things like warming ovens. So we've sort of reset our expectations and are looking at smaller, less formal weddings, receptions, parties, wine tastings, those kinds of things. Jay Brooks is working on an open house in the new year with wine and hors d'oeuvres, and he is inviting Chamber of Commerce members, concierge from hotels in Napa and Sonoma area and others so they can see the space, enjoy yummy food and wine, and see what it could offer. So that will be happening in the new year. We're securing donations to put the courtyard on a more national platform for advertising. That's the problem. Advertising is not free, and it sometimes can be expensive, but we've figured out a couple avenues to get more bang for our buck, and some people have come forth with the money to be able to do that. And so we anticipate that the courtyard will eventually become a revenue earning space and pay for itself and pay for its landscape and maintenance, because that is not free either. So to kind of wrap it all up, as Kenna explained, our donations go directly to the center, and we have pointed out some ways the money are being utilized and how we are trying to be sustainable. We do usually have a little bit of a dip in donations during this time, and it kind of catches back up at the end of the year, so we're not panicking about a small deficit. We do encourage your generosity, and we want to continue to grow. If you can possibly think about bumping up your donations a bit, that would be appreciated. We also recognize that those of you may not have the financial resources to do that, and we still need you. We still want you. So we encourage you to please consider your time, talents, and treasures. Can you possibly sit on a committee to help plan events? Can you possibly help, with office things? Can you help bring food on Sunday to share with others? There's so many ways that you can give, and we hope that you can think about that. Also, I had a really nice luncheon with a couple of friends who are they're looking at their spirituality, and so I greatly encouraged them to come. Can we invite more people to come and find out that they have talents and treasures that they can help us with? So thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful autumnal day.
Let's hold it. So if you're on the Board of Trustees currently, could you please stand up? If you're on the Board of Trustees currently, could you please stand up? And let's just give them a round of applause. Thank you. It is a tireless job at times, so we appreciate all the extra effort that you put into that. And if you're ever interested in the board, see me after the service or give me an email about that. The chart that I had created was just showing that the line across it is what we need per month. And you can see sometimes we go over it, sometimes we get close to it, and there's a lot of donations that happen at the end of the year. So we appreciate you giving end of the year donations, including us in your wills, often bequests, put us over the top. So we appreciate all the contributions you give. And mainly, like Kendall said, we just appreciate you being a part of this community. So thank you for being a part of that. And now we'll continue our service with music.
Okay, you know this song. So loosen up and sing it with me, will ya? I'm gonna lay down my burdens
job.
Good job, everybody. Yeah. Good singing.
Julianne is actually going to be our musician for our dinner in November because we wanted her to just do sing-along songs. That's all we're going to be doing. So it'll be fun to have her there for that. So that'll be exciting.
That was your warm-up.
That was your warm-up, right. But the ending song will be part of it. We're going to do Stand By Me, and that's one of the songs you're going to be doing there. So anyway, I just want to jump into this idea of reciprocity that I have just been thinking about so much. Wondering if you have ever received a compliment or an affirmation or a gift or something that you were not expecting that was surprising to you, either the value of it or who gave it to you or when they gave it to you, it wasn't for anything, or like I said, some sort of affirmation or acknowledgement of you that you weren't expecting. How many people have had that kind of, yeah, and it feels so good. And what I'm wondering is this whole idea of reciprocity, what we don't know, and the idea of the law of circulation, because all things in the universe are constantly in motion, circulating at an ever-expanding rate. Perhaps it's something you put out into the universe before, something you have given, or an affirmation, acknowledgement, love that you've given, and we don't know all the time if it's been received, or where it goes, or when it circulates back to us and in what form. But we continue to do that and open our hearts so that it is continual in this way. And this is the whole idea of this reciprocity that is giving to the source of the wisdom or abundance we have received. So we receive in abundance, and we give from that abundance back to the source. Think of the word Thanksgiving. I mean, we're a month away from that holiday, and yet we still talk about Thanksgiving all the time, so we are thankfully giving. We're grateful for what we received, and we're giving back to it in that way. This starts from the Native Americans, and that's one reason I wanted to talk about it today, because it's Indigenous Peoples Day, today and tomorrow. The idea of reciprocity comes from, in particular I've learned it from Native Americans, but it's universal among all indigenous cultures. But the idea that Native Americans, when they had a harvest from crops they grew, or for an animal they hunted, they would always be grateful for that gift that was given to them, and they would always give something back. Perhaps it was tobacco or shells or beads or some sort of pottery or baskets that they have woven to thank the earth, to give back to the earth. And I was thinking about that when I was gardening this week, because I was trimming back my garden from the summer growth that kind of got crazy, but now the fruits are not ripening like they were, and they're sort of shriveling up. So I was just cutting back things, and I reflected on the gifts it gave me during the summer. You know, the bountifuls. I like cucumbers and tomatoes and squashes and strawberries and raspberries, and just to be so grateful of these plants that have given me that. And also to take these cuttings, these trimmings, these rotting fruits in some cases, and putting them back into the soil. Giving back to the soil in gratitude because of a gift that the soil, this earth, has given these plants that have given me this bounty. And what I know is when I do that, that compost and creates new soil that nurtures the seeds that come up and the young plants that will be there in the spring. This is the law of circulation and reciprocity, that we give fully and completely. Without condition, without, I love the word unadulterated. That means we don't adult it too much. We don't overthink it. We just give it freely. Not for what we're going to have in return, but what we know in the law of circulation, that it will come back around in time, whether it's a financial gift or a gift of love, a gift of appreciation, a gift of truth. Whatever it is, it will come back to us, because that's the nature of things. and this way we have. There's an interesting thing I was reading about this week and listening to about the way of reciprocity is really a path, what's called a red path or red road, Native Americans call that. And the red road is a spiritual path that honors the land as sacred, honors all life as sacred. And it's similar to what we talk about here at Center for Spiritual Living, a spiritual path, or Buddhism or Hindu talks about it. And it's a life of interconnection, of great spirit, of ancestors, of the connection with the earth, and a balance and harmony. It's what the Lakotas call a Shankuluta, which is in contrast to a Shanku Sapa, which is the black road. And the black road represents non-spirituality, a human way, greed, emotional pain, insatiable desires, a lack of satisfaction, and likely an early death, or at least one filled with discontentment. Now, I know we talk about this contrast, but in truth, I know we strive to be on the red path, but sometimes we're on the black path. Sometimes we get caught in our own emotions, our own judgments, or respond to somebody in a very human way. But that's the point. It's a human way. I want to introduce you to Casey Camp Horenick. And she's actually an activist for Native American rights. She's a speaker, author. She's also an actress. She was a consultant and actually played a small role in the Avatar movies. And her spirituality is seen throughout those movies, not because of her, but because the writer and the producers wanted to use a Native American philosophy for the avatars because they were an indigenous group, even though not a science fiction version of an indigenous group, but it was still an indigenous group. So they have many indigenous group. She's also an elder in the Ponca Nation in Oklahoma, and forefront, as I'm in, of Native American activism. So I love the way she talks about the red and black paths. That's why I want to bring her voice into the room now.
How are we going to approach this walk on the red road? They tell us How are we going to approach this walk on the red road? They tell us in our ceremonies that walking the red road, if you have the black road, which is the human road, and the red road, which is the spiritual road, the understanding that was given to me is that as you walk the black road, you make mistakes because you're human. You walk the black road and you step off of the red road over and over again. But if you learn something, then it's like a thermometer, that red line, that red road is leading you towards your oneness with Wakanda, with the Great Spirit. And what is the Great Spirit? The Great Mystery is a culmination of all that has spirit. It's you and I, but we're just the tiniest hair as humans that make the Great Spirit.
About condemnation, so sometimes we condemn ourselves when we step off that red road, when we get caught in our own emotions, we react to somebody. I mean, the rally today against hate is so powerful because it's about the choices we make on a daily basis about which road we're going to choose, which road that we make. And it's at this intersection she talks about, these opportunities that if we learn from it, if we understand it, then we can realize we're mindful of it. We can choose that which is the red road. We can just get back on the red road and re-choose that. I know one way that I get caught on the black road is my judgments of people who I think are on the black road. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Then I'm right there with them. I'm sure you don't do that, right? So the way of the Red Road is one of reciprocity with spiritual practices. For Native Americans, it's about sweat lodges and medicine wheel and different kinds of visioning practices. For us, it is meditation and prayer. I love the way Casey talks about prayer. She talks about her morning prayer that she offers prayers as if an offering to the earth, as if an offering to the universe. It's a humbleness that she steps into her prayers. And a connection to this great mystery of which she is a hair of, that we are just a drop of water of, but we are part of it. This allness that is, and it's in our awareness that we open up to a greater truth of who we are. I have a friend, his name is Dan, and I knew him in Denver. Still a friend, but I got to know him better than Denver. And he was part of a men's ministry I was part of, and we were going to do a retreat for men. In Denver, we had about 100 men show up for these great retreats. And I wanted to do a ritual with him, and I knew he was really good with rituals, and I asked him if he would be part of it. He says, yes, in an interesting, very sincere way. And he goes, you need to know that I'm on the red path. First time I'd heard of the red path, I didn't know what that was. And he says, when somebody of intention, of good intention, comes to me and asks me a question, I say yes. That is part of my commitment to the universe. And as we walked through that, as we worked together on those rituals, I could see somebody, I just learned a lot about service, because it was not about a duty or an obligation or something he was concerned about how much time it was taking. He was just very, very present and very open to spirit and how spirit moved through what we were doing. There was just a depth of being in what he did, and it was so amazing to understand and to allow that lightness of being that I strive to do, to have all my life be part of this red path. I also know that reciprocity is about a respect for all. Robin Wall-Camerer, who wrote the book about reciprocity, when I learned more about reciprocity, she says that simply paying attention is a form of reciprocity. With the living world, receiving the gifts of life with open eyes and open heart. So it's this idea that we have a deeper connection with all of life in this way. She goes on to say that intentional reciprocity and compassion in our lives is action on the behalf of life, transforms us and the world. So this red path that we're on, when we are in connection with this, in alignment with this, in the oneness of that, it transforms us. We recognize that. But sometimes we don't see how it transforms the world, especially when the world seems to be in a different place at times. But what we know is this concept of circulation and reciprocity, is that what we give the world. It is transforming things. It is moving around. It is changing things. So whatever we do, let's stay on that red road. Let's do what we can, what we're called to. We can't do it all. But what we know about reciprocity is it's about giving and receiving, allowing a deeper part of ourselves. Camerer also said, even a wounded world is feeding us. Even a wounded world holds us, giving us moments of wonder and joy. I choose joy, she said, over despair. Not because I have my head in the sand, that I'm some blind optimist. It's because joy is what the earth gives me daily, and I must return that gift. So we receive the joy, we receive the love, and we continue it in that way. 6 days a week, thank God it's not Sunday, but 6 days a week at the center. This has been a noisy place lately. You can ask Mary. The hotel that's being built, it is so noisy. So many machines moving around and clanking, and I don't know what they're doing over there. And when I look at what they're doing, they obviously have a plan, but I don't know what it is. They're digging holes and making squares and putting things here, moving dirt over there and moving it over there, and but that's life. It's a metaphor. I don't know what the divine universe has in mind, and maybe I'm only this person who digs this hole right here. This is my job. Everybody else is doing this, but my job is right here, and I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to do it with love and compassion and being present, because I want to create a world full of love and joy. So I am being that love and joy so that I see that in the world, like Gandhi said, right? And maybe it's just this little hole I'm digging. That's okay. That's what I'm doing. That's my job. I'm doing this, whatever that is. That we give in the way that we can, that we're called to do, that we have the resources to do. We know we love this life as it continues to open up in greater ways. Kamira said another thing. She said she teaches her daughters to garden. She says she does this so that they will always have a mother to love them long after I'm gone. That's what we're doing right now. We are in the garden of life. We are doing our part, but we're also teaching others. We're showing people ways. We're modeling ways so that there's a garden of love to mother us all, to remind us all to be on this red path of compassion and connectedness. It's what we do individually. It's what we do as a community through our services, our classes, our events that we do. I know Sip and Savor, that was mentioned this morning earlier, that is interesting. We started as a fundraiser, and it's become so much more than that. We are giving awards for compassion. We're promoting compassion. People are so excited to be at that event. I'm excited to go to this event today that Tracy Main started, because we're promoting love. I was concerned about it at first, talking about being against hate, because I try not to be against anything, but it's about love, it's about connection, and that's what we're here to do. We are creating a garden so that we can all have a mother long after we are gone. And we know this is the work we're being called to do. And thank you for being a part of it. Let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment, there is an abundance of life. It is sourced in the divine. An abundance of creativity and joy. Abundance of resources. And it's all sourced in the divine, and we recognize that, we allow that, we receive this abundance, this goodness of life. It creates a bountiful garden, a bountiful table that we feast upon. And I am grateful for a spirit that reminds me that this bounty is one we break bread with others. We break bread with our friends, our neighbors. We also invite those who we don't know as well to this table of truth and joy and love, and we celebrate in this way. Thank you, Spirit, for moving through us and reminding us where the red path is, to teach us that we may learn more and understand more. I'm grateful for this as I release this word into the law, knowing it is so. And so it is.
Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything. It gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready, and it comes when you're afraid. She'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Julianne, could you just play the chorus for us and we could sing along with it? Just a couple rounds of the chorus.
The chorus.
Yeah, so give yourself to love.
Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Again.
Yeah.
Give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Thank you, thank you. Beautiful. Kate. Beautiful. Lovely. This is a time when we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. There are many ways you can be a part of supporting this community, as we've mentioned before. If we could have our ushers come forward. What we know is that which you give, whether it's of service or financial contribution, does come back to you in many, many ways. This is the law of circulation and reciprocity. We have many ways you can give. Many of you give online, have given in the past, or perhaps you're giving today. There's many choices there. So let's just take our hands over our heart to represent that which you've given in the past or the present, and speak this affirmation with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is. Go ahead, yes.
I reach for joy and I rise, singing my gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is my guide. I am grateful and glad I'm alive. We reach for joy and we rise, singing our gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is our guide. We are grateful and glad we're alive. You can sing it. We reach for joy and we rise, singing our gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is
Good effort. I'm glad we're alive. This is a time in our service we welcome anybody who might be here for the first time. They're online. We always welcome all our online participants or here in the sanctuary. If you're willing to raise your hand, we want to acknowledge you, bless you, and offer you something. Anybody here for the first time? Okay, well, we welcome everybody back, and if we missed you, there's always information out, and for really any of the events, we have information at the information table, or ask any of our board members about any questions. Also, by the way, if you happen to not have received one of those cards of intention in mail for different reasons, we didn't have your address yet, there are some available out on the information table as well. So thank you. So we have a blessing for everybody in our community and those people online who are part of our community. So we just raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So good to have everybody here today. Let's have our practitioners come forward, please. Our practitioners are available for prayers after the service. They offer this as a gift, and it's really a wonderful way to just feel that peace in the prayer spoken to you. It's almost as a meditation spoken for you. So thank you for being here. If you are interested in prayers, simply remain in the sanctuary and let other people file out to enjoy coffee and food. And I've already seen the food out there. You're going to want to go out there and get some always good coffee and good food today. So I won't be staying around long because I've got as a speaker, I've got to get on over to the rally. So I'll be here for a few minutes and then I'm leaving. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me or call the office. And then let's all stand for the congregational affirmation and our closing song. Usually we do stand, but today for our closing song, we're doing Stand By Me. So kind of a fun thing. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now, stand by me.
Everybody sing loud, okay? When the night has come, and the moon is the only light we see. You have to wait for me. Oh, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
by each other and stand with ourselves and our truth and our joy. Have a great Sunday. Hope to see people at the event later. Jesus Christ.
From a